Good evening.
Namaste, Sudhiji. Good evening. I think we are still gathering. It will take another 4 or 5 minutes before we can start.
Hi, Meenakshi.
Hello, Marianne. So good to see you.
Nice to see you again, too.
Radhe.
Meenakshi, while we are waiting on people, I had actually ordered Radhe's book after her lecture, but I don't think I've received it. Do you know how long it will take?
I think we have not posted yet. I will check with the team. But very soon you will receive it. Like,
Okay.
Usually with the time we post, you receive it in 3 days.
Okay, because I ordered it on the day that she had the lecture, which was, I think, what? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We were just collecting things together. I know I'm updated with that.
Okay, no problem.
And thanks a lot for doing that. As we said, it's 100% donation toward medical relief. So do spread the word among astrology students.
Sure.
Namaste, Meenakshi.
Yeah, namaste, John. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Thanks
you
a
get
lot for
my-
joining us.
Oh, yes. Had to be. I'm actually at the gym doing my exercise bike. But
Lovely. I mean, that's the flexibility of the Zoom. You can join with the phone
Exactly.
anywhere. So thanks a lot for
Exactly.
being here with us.
yes, did you get my email? That I got an email saying that one of the
Yes.
orders was fulfilled. Okay,
I did.
already
I did.
got the book.
Yep. Lovely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Sudhirji. Oh, Con. How are you? I think we will be getting started with the session pretty soon. Saurav, if you're there, we can start the session.
Yeah, I'm very much here. Yes.
So you can start with the video. We can just start with your mantra very quickly.
Sorry, I'm a little disheveled. I did not realize that. Yes. Is it better? Meenu?
Yes, Saurav, it's better. You can get started.
Oh, you want me to do mantra?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. Thank you. All right, everyone, please bring your hands closer to your chest. Close your eyes. Focus on the hollow space between the palms of your hands. Take a deep breath. Om Gam Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Sahna Vavatu Sahno Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.
So welcome everyone for the session which we are getting started on the medical relief. We have a full team there with us, also with starting with Dr. Charak, Sudhir Mehta. We have Radhe here. We have other many people who are really interested and been devoting towards medical relief for years to come. They are also joined over here. So thanks a lot for being here with us today. And I will share my screen to tell you what's the agenda for the day. Sorry. Sorry for this things. Yeah. So we are with the introduction. We will get started and talk about our team over here, and we'll get into with Radhe. Radhe will be talking about the donation, where we are. The last time when we were having conversation, there many folks asked us the question about where we are standing on this one. Then we would like to look through the camp updates. One of the recent camp done by Dr. Charak had just completed on December 10th. So we'll get some update, some of the fresh people who got benefited from here, and then many more camp updates will be coming from Dr. K.S. Charak. We would like to pick on Sudhirji for some of the patient cases as his throat allow. He is not feeling very well. We'll ask him a few of the questions from there. We do like to hear some of our prominent supporters in this area, and we would like to really hear from you how, and also talk about how you can help. At the same time, hear from you some recommendations. How do you think we should be spreading more words around? So your voice is really very important for us. So thanks a lot for being here with us. And before we talk about the team, as you can see in the background, the Sudhir Mehta and the Dr. K.S. Charak, we are really touched with their noble cause. Over here, Dr. K.S. Charak, as you have been seeing in the email which we are forwarding, is the founder of SOS Memorial Trust. This is how the name is in India, SOS Memorial Trust. In US, the name is Sanjeevani Foundation. Overall, it's called Medical Relief for India. We do surgical, medical and the surgical camp, and primarily bringing the medical help for people at their doorstep. So that's what we are working on, and we have our team to ask questions. Sudhir Mehta has been there with this particular cause for very long, and very long from the beginning. It was the joint venture, I will say, between Sudhirji and Dr. K.S. Charak came up with this idea, and obviously there were many more people came in to be able to do this and be with the Dr. Charak to be able to make it happen. So it's been close to, I will say, 25 years, and maybe more than that. If my numbers are not correct, rather you can correct me. But in 25 years, the camp is happening on a regular basis, and they have been making difference to the group. So before I just talk about the team, I do like to request Saurav to be able to run a small video of the camp, which will walk you through how exactly the whole medical relief is making difference of the unfortunate people. So Saurav would like to give an opportunity to run the video.
Could you spend 5 years' income to cover your loved one's medical expenses? That is the cost of saving a life in rural India. The poorest earn around 4,000 rupees a month, which is equivalent to around $60 US. Poverty-stricken communities require extensive medical treatment, yet are often unaware of the severity of their diseases. But there's an organization providing hope.
The main motivation came sometime during our mountaineering expeditions, when we had to trek to the foothills of the Himalayas.
During the expedition, Dr. Charak and his fellow mountaineers encountered many people living in stark poverty, begging for simple medicines. These people were miles away from civilization and had no access to even the most basic healthcare facilities. Back in Delhi, Dr. Charak suggested that they should devise some means to provide healthcare to these people at their doorstep. This was the beginning of the week-long medical camps in far-flung areas, providing free surgical and medical care to those without access. The team now consists of some 300 medical staff. As of 2020, they have treated over 71,000 patients and performed over 3,200 operations, all free of cost. SOS Memorial Trust has provided over $3 million in free medical care as of 2020. But there is more work that has to be done. More often than not, by the time each camp ends, there are still many patients who have not yet been operated on, so they are promised treatment in the next available camp. In one case, a woman with gallstones wasn't able to be accommodated until her 4th visit to the camp.
We leave patients who need treatment and we cannot provide them within the 1 week that we have.
This has led to SOS Memorial Trust's latest mission to build a permanent hospital to provide care year-round. The hospital is essential in order to provide complete medical coverage in the form of operations, vaccinations, health education, and follow-up of preventable diseases. It would also serve as a launching ground for future camps. Any patients who cannot be given due medical care within the camps can also be shifted to the hospital. A recent government ruling has also imposed legal constraints on operating temporary medical camps. A permanent hospital would provide legal protection from the constantly changing policies. The hospital will be staffed by medical personnel willing to commit to treating the poor and the needy in order to live a life of service. Medical services for poor patients would continue to be completely free. Treatment would also be available to those who can pay and desire care from the SOS Memorial Trust team.
We have done enough work in the government. We have done enough work for ourselves. We want to give to the society whatever little we are left with.
In order to achieve this, SOS Memorial Trust needs your help to raise $3.4 million for the construction of a permanent hospital. It costs $500 for SOS to provide a surgical operation for a destitute patient. Every donation counts. Can you help?
In 2005, I witnessed Dr. Sharat perform a hernia repair operation on a 6-year-old boy. That boy would otherwise have grown into a man who, with a hernia, would not have been able to achieve his full economic potential. A simple operation, a low-cost intervention, transformed a life to be much more productive.
The only hope for the people living in remote areas is Dr. Charak's camp.
It is truly a heart-opening experience to see firsthand the remarkable work that is being done at these camps.
I would always be admired him for what he has been able to accomplish and the people and the teams he's been able to energize both in India and abroad.
Thank you, Saurav. And thanks a lot, everyone, to be patiently looking through the whole cause. So it's every time when I watch this particular video, I really feel numbed how much of a difference it can make. And if we talk more from the Dr. Chira's angle, how less it requires to be able to run this camp, like in terms of the dollars going there to be able to run it. Now, I would like to invite Radhe, who is an executive director of Sanjeevani Foundation, to be able to walk us through how we are doing in terms of our donation, where we are, and how we are making difference. So I'm sorry for this. We'll keep ourselves. Yeah, please keep yourself muted, will be very helpful. So I would like to invite Radhe and now to be able to take us through where we are. And Radhe, welcome. And thanks a lot for being such a prominent figure to be able to help the whole organization and getting inspired from the medical.
Thank you so much, Meenakshi, and thank everyone for being here today on a Sunday. I'm with you, Meenakshi. Every time that I've seen that film, it's just been so heart-touching and so warming to see all the amazing work that's being done at these medical camps. Today, I just wanted to take a few minutes and just update everyone as to where Sanjeevani stands in terms of raising funds. I know that on this particular slide, we have a couple items: site secured for the hospital, admission unit, and professional analysis. But I'm going to leave that to Dr. Charak to update you on the actual construction of the hospital and where they stand. He's much closer to it on a week-by-week and month-by-month basis than I am. But I would like to share with you the results in terms of fundraising over the years. And maybe if I could, Meenakshi, I'll go ahead and just screen share a chart that I have put together. I think you'll have to come out of screen share.
I will do that. I will stop the share. Please go ahead.
Okay, so Meenakshi, you can see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So instead of just kind of lumping together total amount that's been raised since inception of Sanjeevani, I decided to put together this year-by-year fundraising that's happened. We incorporated the non-for-profit back in April of 2007. So we're in about, I think it must be our 18th year in fundraising. And it's pretty amazing to see the growth in contributions over the years. You'll see down here 2007, when we just opened, just raising under 10,000. And really for the first 6, 7, 8 years, 10, 15, 20,000 was being raised pretty consistently, which we were actually extremely happy for your donations and contributions to these medical camps. But then something happened around 2016, 2017, and we just kind of continued to increase, multiply 2, 3, 4 times the amount that was being raised. We really got some momentum. More of you joined the cause. We had the last few years, Meenakshi and her team reaching out and also fundraising. And you'll see, right around 2020, we broke through the 100,000 mark, which was a big milestone for Sanjeevani. And really 2020, 2021, 2022, a couple of the things that were really driving the donations were matching programs that were offered by a couple of our donors. We have Roy Dunbar, who is here with us today, and he really started this whole thing back in about 2020 with a 50,000 matching donation program, which we were able to meet and exceed all of our donors. And following Roy's matching contribution, we had Rohit Shankar come forward and put to us the challenge of 100,000 matching donation program, and his 100,000 really spanned over 2 years, 2021 and 2022. So June of this year, we actually met that 100,000 matching program. And you know, it's interesting because we've had a few very large donors over the last several years that have kind of put us up above this 100,000 mark. But really, it's also equally valuable, all those that have been contributing, whether it's $5 or 50 or 100 throughout the year, and many who have, gosh, I think even going back 10 years, we have some donors that have been on a monthly subscription program through PayPal, and they've been donating, again, $5, $10, $50. These amounts really add up. And as you can see, you know, they're probably half of what we've been raising the last couple of years. So we are certainly thankful for our larger donors, and just equally thankful and appreciative of all of you that have been supporting the cause of these free medical camps. So I just wanted to share this a bit with you. And you know, right now we've got a couple weeks left. It would be great if we could kind of push through maybe the 125, 150,000 mark. So if any of you have not had a chance to contribute or donate, please do. By the end of the year, we are a non-for-profit organization, a private foundation, and so your contributions may be deductible, and so there's still time to get that deduction in 2022. But I just wanted to show that, and then we can maybe go back to your PowerPoint, Meenakshi. And maybe the one before this, if you could. Thank you. So I just, you know, down here, I just wanted to mention also, you know, it says over 300 donors. We're probably closer to 350, almost 400 donors at this point, both small and large. And interestingly, also, we've had several family offices and several foundations that have also contributed significant money to Samjeevani. In addition to the gifts of medical equipment that have happened periodically throughout the last 10 or 15 years, I also wanted to mention, and this has really been an important aspect of the fundraising, that much of the donations in several years were coming through matching programs, not for individuals offering matching, but really through corporations that have a matching program for their employees. So many companies, if you are working for a corporation, it's really it would be really wonderful if you could first check to see if they have any sort of matching program for charitable foundations, because many companies will actually not only match 100% your donation, but several of them also will match 200%. Again, making a pretty big difference. So anyone that is interested in donating and working for a company that has a matching program, just please have them get a hold of myself or Meenakshi, either one of us, and we can work with that organization to ensure that they're comfortable in our 501c3 status. So I just wanted to mention that, and then we could maybe go to the next slide. And so this is just, you know, all of this is out on our website, medicalrelief.in. But for those that would like to donate, it's very easy through our website. We have a PayPal button at the bottom of each page, as well as on the menu page, how you can help. Or you can simply send through PayPal to the email address admin@medicalrelief.in. Of course, many of you have sent personal or corporate checks. and several bank wires. So these all are welcomed also. And Zelle can also, we can also receive funds through Zelle. Again, our email address is admin@medicalrelief.in. And then the corporate matching gifts that I just mentioned. We did initiate a program late, I think it was last year, on naming opportunities. So for those larger donors, there is an opportunity when this hospital is completed to have the your name or family name on either a ward or on a door, particular door. And this naming opportunities, all the specifications, again, is on our website, but you can come together as a family or as a group to qualify for these naming opportunities. So it's a wonderful way for us to acknowledge and to thank all of you who have been donating. And of course, you know, volunteering, many individuals have come from the US and other parts of the world, such as Roy and myself and others. And so, you know, Samjeevani is really serves as this liaison between these medical camps in India and interested volunteers. So if you are interested, I'm sure Dr. Charik would love to have you come and join the team. And if you could just, again, contact Meenakshi or myself, and maybe just a brief description of your background, we'd be real appreciative and get back to you on when the next medical camps are and put you in touch with Dr. Charik, who can tell you a little bit more about the upcoming camps. Thank you.
So now we would like to invite Dr. Charak to be able to talk about the recent camp and the actual difference, how they are making, and you know what is its recent experience and how is also envisioning 2023 in terms of the camps and some of the plans. So Dr. Charak, the floor is yours. You are also a co-host. If you like to share, you can. So we would like to invite you and let donors know about how the money is getting utilized, how you are making difference in the people's life. Dr. Charak, can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Great. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Rajan. Thank you, everybody. Roy has also joined. That's great. I'm just back from another camp. We reached here something like 12 hours ago, earlier. So one more landmark is that we have completed 60 camps by now. So this was our 60th camp. And just a little correction to Meenakshi, we have completed 23 years. We started in the year 2020, in fact 2020 October, and that was our first camp. And then you know, it is about 23 years. This last camp we held at the ashram of Devra Baba in Vindhyachal. We have held 7 camps earlier there, and this was our 8th camp there. And as usual, we get a lot of patients and lots of surgeries. So during this week, actually during the first 4 days of surgery, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we completed 80 surgical procedures, major and minor. Minor surgeries were 34 and 46 major surgeries during this period. And of course, as usual, there are many patients who could not be operated upon within this limited period. So we have booked them for the next camp. And also we have fixed the next camp in the same venue in Vindhyachal in the ashram of Devra Baba from 26th of February 2023 to 4th of March 2023. So 26th February is a Sunday, 23rd of 4th of March is a Saturday, Sunday to Saturday, 26th of February to 4th of March 2023. That will be our 61st camp. And as usual, we get many poor patients there. These are some of the most deserving patients. We have done a lot of work in Jammu. We get, Jammu, there are certain areas where we get very poor patients, but there are certain areas where, people are quite all right and they still come to our camps. But I think the best benefit that we provide to people is in Vindhyachal, in Baba's ashram, where most of the people who come to us are very, very poor. And with this camp, we have treated something like 74,000 patients, close to 3,500 surgeries. And I think we have covered something like 9 or 10 different venues in North India and 5 different states, including J&K, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, and Uttar Pradesh. Our process of building the hospital is, is restricted because of the lack of funds. We are raising funds gradually. We are also consuming some of this donated money on the camps, because camps also consume some money, and each camp I think is about something about $9,000 to $10,000, equivalent to that amount. So that consumption also was there. So and if you want, I can show you. Can I share some pictures of the camp? Actually, I can't hear you.
Yes, Dr. Charak, you can. You are a co-host. You can share your screen.
I don't know whether I can do that. This is our operation theater where we operate. Is it there? No.
No.
Yeah, we can't see the picture so far. So there is nothing to show here, but we can see your screen for sure.
Yeah, we can see you're sharing this, Dr. Charak.
When you click on screen share, Dr. Charak, you should be able to then click on the particular window that you want to share. So you click on that and hit share, and it should come up.
The trouble is the picture has disappeared somehow. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
There's another picture which has disappeared. So I don't know why, but let me see if I can.
I think someone is being very shy, Dr. Charak.
No, it just appears and then disappears. This is one of the pictures. Can you see this?
No.
Not yet.
I'm surprised. Why not? No?
No.
No.
Where is your screen share?
We are seeing your screen. Maybe the way Radhe said that, we should know which page you are sharing.
Actually, your whole thing has disappeared from me. I don't know why.
on share screen? Is that where you can't see the window?
I can't see the share screen window here.
So you might have
On
too many windows open. If you click on
Yes,
the picture,
it's
or
it
maybe
says
Dr. Charak, excuse me, if you can send this document to Meenakshi or somebody else, they can.
it says your screen sharing is paused. Why should it pause?
oh. So maybe you paused it.
Well, yeah, if it is paused, then on the top there is a link on the banner. You can say resume sharing.
Can you see something?
Yeah.
Now we can see.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, this is just one of the patients we operated on, and you can see these. We get these simple folding beds, and this is a big hall, which actually was the dining hall, but then we have converted it into a ward. And these are just two nurses. This lady actually came from Kerala to attend the camp. She's a retired nurse, and she was very nice. She came over and and I'm sorry I have lost some of the pictures. This is one of her, again, that is lost. Somehow there is some problem sharing the screen, but I think I would rather quit this. I'll send you these pictures in the usual in the manner that I send the camp report. So I think we'll leave that.
Sure, Dr. Charak, we can.
Yeah, I don't think we.
Yeah.
There is some problem here sharing it, but anyway. So my point is that it is some of the most poor patients that we deal with here, and we had a patient who was 92 years old. He came for a hernia repair and so on, and we are dealing with all these small children to people who are 90 and above. They are all getting treated here, and I wanted to show the picture of one of our elderly orthopedic surgeons. Elderly because he's older than me also. He comes from UK, and he spends 6 months in India doing this charitable work. So he makes it a point to attend all our camps when he's around. He's close to 83 or 84, but he carries his own instruments, which are pretty heavy, and a fairly active gentleman. And he is planning to join us in our next camp also in Baba's place. Then I have also got some promise from a couple of friends from USA who have promised that they would join us, gynecologists and some nursing people. They would join us in our October-November 2023 camps later on. So these people are likely to join us from USA. Earlier, we have had people from France, from Latvia, and from Germany, doctors, surgeons, and everybody else, volunteers, and so on. They have done it. So this is the work we are doing, and the process of making the hospital. I think we have got for phase 1. I think we have raised only about 25% of the money that we need, but I think Mr. Mehta might be able to give you more details about it. I don't know, but the question was there is that whether you have done something good to the people and changed the lives of other people. I think whatever work we do, the life of everybody is changed, and it has also changed the lives of those who are serving them. So I think our lives are also changed, and their lives are also changed. So it's a mutually beneficial thing. Although we don't know who these people are, we don't expect any returns from them, and so this selfless work goes on, and I think eventually it helps both sides. We might invite Mr. Mehta to give you some details about the financial implications and so on. So or if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer.
Dr. Sharak, I have a couple of questions, quick ones.
Please shoot.
So I'm very much interested in volunteering. However, I don't have a medical background. So are there volunteer opportunities for medical? And the other question is, where do volunteers live over there? Because this is like rural parts of India, so I don't think there would be hotels or anything, right?
No, you are not supposed to live in the hotels if you are part of the camp team, because we are all living somewhere, so you will be part of that. We have a reasonably comfortable and clean place to live in wherever we hold our camps. But you should be prepared to sleep on a mattress on the floor, and be with other people. And I don't think we have had any. We have had volunteers from several parts of the world, but they have all been reasonably comfortable. So if you want to join, you can join. We cook our own food, which is generally hygienic. We haven't had any problem with the food. Our American friends have had that food. Radhe has had it. Roy Dunbar has had it. So the food is fine. We generally ensure that the water is fine. But of course, we don't provide cots always. So therefore, you should be prepared to sleep on the floor on a mattress, which would be, reasonably comfortable. The floor will not hurt you through the mattress. So if you want to join as a volunteer, you're welcome. Thank you.
And for somebody who doesn't have a medical background, what kind of volunteer
Oh,
work?
well, some work can be done, because we have had volunteers from overseas who are non-medical people, and they have also contributed. So there is everything that needs to be done. So all work, it's a complete duty for 7 days, 24 hours a day. So lots of work, and volunteers can help. We can find some work for you whenever you come over.
Okay,
no problem.
Hello, Dr. Charak. This is Simran. Thank you again for all the great work that you and your team are doing. Dr. Charak, question on the slide that I think Radhe was showing, the 1.3 million raised out of, I think 3.6 was the goal. Is that was the total, I believe, she was showing from 2007 onwards. So isn't some of that money, the 1.3, has been used up in the medical camps also?
Well, we are using, actually, you see, whatever money we had saved earlier before we started seeking donations in this manner, all that was money raised for conducting the camps, and we saved that money from there. And the donations are adding to that, but yes, we are doing the camps also from that money. So exact figures, I think Radhe will have it, and I think Mr. Mehta will tell you. But yes, we are using that money. Whatever we are getting as donations, part of that money goes to the camps also. And I was in USA last August, and somebody suggested that as long as you don't have a hospital, please increase the number of camps. So we have that intention also. We are planning to increase the number of camps, and in fact, I have talked to the health department in Jammu in connection with this. And there is a certain backlog of surgical patients, because there were no proper surgeries done for 2 years during the corona episode. So I've asked them to give us some figures about how many people are there waiting for surgeries, and if they provide us some of their own hospitals where we can operate, and if they provide us some basic facilities, we would be happy to conduct several camps and deal with some of the backlog which is there. So we are thinking of that also. That also will involve some amount of expense, but I think as long as we don't have a regular hospital, we can put our services in to that use and in that direction.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Charak. That's great idea actually. That way, you're building up the funds also, but at the same time, people are, more people can be served in between that time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, Dr. Charak, just a very quick question. So, how much do you think is required to be able to start using the fund for the hospital? So, is it like Mr. Mehta can answer the?
Yeah, Mr. Mehta will answer that, because for the hospital, we have got some land, but I think we need to build the hospital and equip it. So that involves a lot of expense. Mr. Mehta will have some figures.
So we would like to ask some of the questions to Mr. Mehta. So Mr. Mehta, can you just talk a little bit more about where we are in terms of the hospital build and some of the questions? How do you think the foundation can be started, or whatever you think the insight you can provide us will be very helpful.
Thank you, Meenakshi. We have invested 0.32 million in land and preliminary construction. For phase 1, we need 2.5 million, and till date we have managed to save about 0.5 million. That means that we require another 2 million to start the construction work. And we do not want to start the construction unless we have all the money required, so that we don't stop the construction work midway. So since 2000, we started our free surgical camps, and as many as Dr. Charak rightly put it, as many as 74,000 patients have been treated freely, of which around 3,500 surgeries have been done. And coming on to some of the cases which Meenakshi wanted to say, that how things have made a difference. We had a camp in Bani, which is about 200 kilometers away from Jammu. And on the penultimate day, an elderly person was brought on a charpai, that is a temporary makeshift stretch. And she had multiple complications, and the local doctors had refused to treat him because of their efficiency not being there, and suggested that he should be taken to Jammu. But taking the patient to Jammu all the way 200 kilometers would have meant that he would have died on the way. So the relatives approached us with a request that we should do whatever is to be done. And our team of surgeons struggled and ensured that the problem was taken care of, and that made a difference. All the patients and the relatives of the patients, with folded hands, with tears in their eyes, thanked us for that. Another case is Dr. Day. Dr. Charak was telling that Arun Kumar Day is our orthopedic surgeon who comes from UK. And during the camp, he goes around the village talking to people, and shortlists some of the children who had met with accident, but who could not be treated, and as such, the bones were not properly set. And so they were handicapped. And those children were brought to our camp, and he did as many as 20 to 25 surgeries to set right the limbs, and so that they could have a normal life. In our Vindhyachal camp, we had many cases of hydrocele. And in one camp, we did about 110 surgeries to take care of the people. So that way, in each and every camp, one or the other patient gets treated, which makes a life different for him. And that, in short, is that. And coming on to construction activity, as I said, we look forward to major donations, so that honestly, maybe in a year's time, we should be able to do it, because we have been hoping that we would have started this building construction, but for reasons beyond our control, we have been handicapped for want of funds, and we are waiting for big donations to come through.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Mehta, for sharing all of this. And especially when you talk about 100 surgeries getting done in a week. Oh my God, it's a big difference in the people's life. It's just looking numbers over here, but we can't even put the stuff together when we are talking about within a week having so many surgeries.
Actually,
so,
I want to add a little modification.
Sure.
Our highest score has been 147 surgeries in 1 week.
Wow.
And in Baba's camp.
So can you talk a little
And
bit more about that? When you say surgery, what all surgeries come, like how it changes?
You see, it
Meenakshi
was
ji, we would like to say that we start our surgery at 9 in the morning, and sometimes it goes up to 12 or 1 in the late night. So the first 4 days, we ensure that maximum number of cases are taken care of. And that is how the numbers come in. Dr. Charak.
yeah, sir. As I told you, Meenakshi and everybody, that it is a complete full-time duty for 7 days, 24 hours a day, and when we stop doing surgery depends on the number of patients that we have booked on that particular day. We do major surgeries on. We start the camp on Sunday, so we do major surgeries on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and Thursday, Friday we do surgeries which don't take much time to recover from, so that we have every patient settled by Saturday, because we major main team leaves by Saturday. So in this particular camp that I'm referring to, this was also held in Vindhyachal, in Hans Baba's place, in Vindhyachal, Devra Baba's place, and that camp we had 70 patients who were hydrocele patients, and we put up 3 different tables in the same room, and the 3 teams of surgeons were operating simultaneously, and we were doing something like 30 to 35 surgeries in one day, 12 or 13 surgeries on each table. So we could manage to do that much. And if even that, after that, we still had some patients, who remained untreated, and we asked them to, come to our next camp. So that goes on, But you see, the actual number of surgeries and the number of patients that we see, it varies from place to place. We get a large number of patients when we go to Vindhyachal, because there are many poor patients who need attention. In some of the other areas where people are, well-to-do, many of them prefer to go to private hospitals. But then there are many who know about our camps, and they come, they travel long distances to reach our camps. So the number of surgeries we do, or the number of OPD patients, that varies from place to place. But this one particular place, Vindhyachal, is such that we get a lot of OPD patients, a lot of surgery patients.
Sir, they wanted to know the types of surgeries we do.
We have done a very large variety of surgeries, much beyond what the subject of general surgery can include. So we have done abdominal surgeries, gallbladders, appendices, and operations on the liver and bile duct and so on. We have done resections of the intestines. We have done hernias, hydroceles, piles, fissures, fistulae. We have operated on breast cancer. We have operated on at least one patient of gallbladder cancer who I operated upon, and she is doing well. We have operated on breast cancers. We have done, skin cancers and so on. We have operated on the thyroid. We have operated on the submandibular glands. We have operated on the parotid glands and so on. Then we have done hysterectomies, a lot of, big variety of gynecological surgery, abdominal and vaginal hysterectomies, and ovarian tumors and so on, and lots of orthopedic cases. So we have a very, very large range of patients that we have treated. Of course, we don't treat the eyes. We don't do the eye surgery because that requires a different setup, and we are not trained to do that. I don't have an, eye surgery team, and if we have it, we normally would not like to combine it with our general surgery team, because you need to be very careful about the eye surgery. And of course, we don't do any super specialization like cardiac surgery or neurosurgery. But we have done a lot of urology. We have done prostates, we have done kidney removals, we have done kidney stones, we have done urinary bladder stones, ureteric stones, and so on. So we cover a large range of patients.
Oh my God, this is too much to hear all of this, how the patient would have been waiting for years to be able to get it operated. So with that, I would like to also invite Roy, who has been seen all of this happening and how he has got inspired. And I think he had attended one of the camp in 2005. So Roy, do you like to add some of your experience and how do you think you got inspired and some of the experience which you had?
Actually, thank you so much. I hope I can be heard.
Yes.
Really.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, this is a very inspiring endeavor. The work of Dr. Sharak, Mr. Mehta, and the whole surgical team really brought me to a point of wanting to be involved, but my skills a little. I am occasionally able to raise some money. And so, I decided that that was the best way for me to be involved, to provide donations periodically for the work that I saw. Actually, I attended a camp in 2005, and it was at Hans Baba's camp, the same camp Dr. Sharak described in Vindhyachal, which is in Uttar Pradesh, close to a set of villages around Mirzapur. And interestingly, it is close to Benares or Varanasi, which is a great city in India, one of the oldest centers of learning. And so I combined my trip to the surgical camp with a few days beforehand in Varanasi. And for those from the West, from the US, who were thinking of attending one of those trips, that would be a fantastic combination, because I think there's only about 40 kilometers from Varanasi to the camp itself. So wonderful culture, wonderful philanthropy. The fact that Dr. Sharak and his team of doctors and nurses and administrators give their time free, totally free, to make such a difference in the lives of people who otherwise would be handicapped with a tremendous medical burden, makes this a cause that really excites me and has kept me involved for what is now 20 years. And I hope that perhaps next year, in the latter part of the year, I would be able to return to India to visit and partake in another camp. There are 3 or 4 people who've already asked me, when are you going next? I'd like to go with you. And to the extent that we can arrange a group, it would be fantastic to do so. So I won't say any more than that, other than I hope you've gathered that I'm fully engaged in this. The work is great. And while there is a lot of need in the world, I have a tremendous trust in this team, in Dr. Sharak, Mr. Mehta, the doctors and the nurses, to actually take the contributions that we make and to deliver them without any loss of value and deliver them directly to the patients. Very exciting, great work.
Thank you, Roy, for sharing that. Because more I talk to you, I does feel like to be a part of the group. So we will ask people, as Dr. Charak has already mentioned, the next camp is coming on 26th of February till 4th of March. We will spread the word and let the people, whoever would like to join with us, we will try to have a group who can come and join. Undoubtedly, even from the seva and the service perspective, it's always said, instead of just donating, you also be a part of it, because that's where it becomes real, and you also get to see the cause and you get inspire yourself much more than that. And we believe on the team, so why not? You do go to India to visit, and I know there are people who makes a difference, and you feel proud of something which you have done and contributed to the society. So we'll definitely like to invite people, and we'll spread the word for this, whoever, especially in the volunteer groups, if you like to come along, we will be happy to do that. Yeah. So, and with that, I see Saurav raising hand. Saurav, do you have something to add?
Yes, I actually have a couple of questions, if that is okay.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I have two questions. The first one is probably more directed towards Sudhirji, and second towards Dr. Charak. The first question, Sudhirji, that I had was that I know that we have talked about that these people who come to the camp, they are really poor and destitute, and they really need a lot of help. However, I was also wondering if there is any pitch made to these participants that in future, I mean, now that these people have been served for last 15 years or so, if they could also contribute towards sort of a paid forward kind of methodology, right? That now, like Roy mentioned earlier, that with the operation of this boy who was having an hernia, he probably was able to realize his full economic potential. So if we make a pitch to these people, they are more emotionally connected to this effort than anybody else sitting here in US or anywhere else in the world, right? So these people may be a little bit more, and then they may have sons and daughters and uncles and aunts who may have some capacity to. So I'm just wondering if that is something that has been thought about, or that it doesn't have to be very persuasive, but maybe a small nudge just for the sake that we are not losing anything on the table. So that's question number one. And question number two is more directed towards Dr. Charak, that at least here in US, there is a growing realization that the cost curve of medical care is exponentially growing. And there's a lot of focus on prevention rather than on therapy. Prevention not only through modern medicine methods, but also what is known as quote unquote alternative methods. Is that something that is on the radar of Sanjeevani Foundation as well or not? So those are the two questions. Thank you. I'm sorry for the long-winded.
Thank you, Saurabhji. As far as the patients with whom we are treating so far is coming from very poor background. And in Vindhyachal and UP, 2 square meals are not available to them. But then when the camp is on, they just come and see that their ailments are taken care of. And it is said that many of them don't take a bath even once in a month or once in 6 months. And they change the clothes once in a year. That is the situation and all that. So expecting anything from them is not there. As far as Jammu rural is concerned, some of them are affluent, but they still come to our camp because of the quality of surgery we do. And then there is a good possibility that once the hospital is done, we would ensure that they pay for their treatment so that the poor people are taken care of. That our plan is like that. So the extremely poor people get free treatment, and those who can afford the treatment will partially take care of the cost of the taking care of the poor patients. That is the scenario.
And sir, right now, we are not inclined to get any benefit from the people whom we have done any good. So I think it is better that we don't expect any returns from them. I wouldn't normally. As far as the question of alternate medicine is concerned, I think more of alternate medicine is practiced in India than elsewhere. And many patients who come to us, even for surgical problems like gallbladder and appendix and so on, even they have taken a lot of alternate things which are not really helpful. So as far as surgical patients are concerned, I don't think there are many alternate medicines. For example, you don't have anything for gallstones. You don't have anything for maybe cancers and things. Although people claim big things. So, but yes, if we do come up with a hospital, in fact, the architect who has made this building plan for us, he has also kept a certain area for Ayurvedic treatment and alternate things. So we do have that in mind. once we, have a hospital or something like that. So alternate medicine, particularly, especially Ayurveda, we are certainly not averse to, and we are not only averse to, but we are actually very keen to have that, because there is so much in Ayurveda. So that is how things are. Anything else?
No, I think Satish ji is raising his hand.
Maybe I can throw some light on a very pertinent question which Saurav has asked. I've been associated with this camp for the last decade or so, and that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you in front of me. So yes, Satish is is the rightest person to tell you about the preventive medicine. He is the preventive medicine man, known globally. Is not just known all over India, but elsewhere also. So he is also associated with us. So I just recognized him from his voice. I didn't see him here. Okay.
No.
So Satish, go on, please.
Yes, there are two very important, dimensions which Dr. Charak has not highlighted, although he has been working on those fronts as well. While he is doing very good, very high quality professional and humanitarian work within the camp, my logic is that wherever these camps are held, the community around should also be benefited. I mean, those who feel the need, they come. But there are people who do require services, but they do not feel the need to come. And therefore, it becomes our duty to really survey the area around the camp, find out what is happening in the community, how far they are away from the benefits which are provided in the camp, and what can be done to empower them. Because the efforts launched by Dr. Charak have been need to be sustained in the community also. And that is what I have been, whenever I visit these camps, I make it a point to survey at least 5-10 villages around and find out what is happening. And then brief Dr. Charak that, look here, this is the way we can further improve the quality of our coverage. Of course, he's doing enormous work within the camp. For example, we could find out that 30% people who had diabetic never knew that they had diabetic. 25% people who had hypertension didn't know that they had hypertension. About 10% people who had hernia, they didn't feel the need to really visit the camp. So what I'm trying to say is that we really need to empower community, make them aware. And it is now the continuity of care which is important. And primary care is a part of, that way it becomes a part of the tertiary care. And now the term given to it is comprehensive primary care, or, whatever you can like to say. So this is one dimension, making community aware of the camps, what are the facilities available, and how to empower them to seek care, not only from the camp, but also from the government facilities around. That is one thing. And the second important aspect, which we are trying to sort of put in place, is to link these efforts with the ongoing schemes of the government. Of course, not much success has been achieved, but we have already submitted application to the government. We have put in the proposals saying that already government has the policy to support voluntary efforts. But it requires, a lot of work to see that this particular idea becomes a ground reality. So what we are trying to do is to visit the ministry, tell them that this is the surgical team, this is the medical and surgical team trying to provide services. And there are so many government infrastructural facilities which are lying unutilized. And why can't we make use of that? That's number one. And secondly, there are schemes in the government where such services are supposed to be supported. But it requires a lot of legwork. So that is another area where we are actively involved to see that the government is fully aware of what we are doing, and also try to share part of the cost of the surgical camps. So far, we have not been able to achieve success in that, but I'm very sure that in the National Health Mission, there are provisions for supporting this kind of voluntary work. There are other schemes also where, well-meaning NGOs are being supported, but you need to really align it with the ongoing schemes of the government. So those are the two areas where I'm very keen to sort of work with Dr. Charak, and we have been working, and we have already put in applications and proposal to the government of India, and let's see what happens.
Yeah,
So,
Satish, there is another menace that is coming up, and earlier people know about this Punjab, about the drug menace, but I think it is much more prevalent in Jammu area, and people don't talk about it, although people know the source of drugs and the people who are distributing drugs, but the government is not taking any action. I don't know how to deal with that, but I would certainly need your help to help some of these people who want to quit addictions, and we should work together in that area also.
the fundamental point, Dr. Charak, is that wherever the camp is being held, we cannot remain, say, unresponsive to the local needs. For example, you told that in Vindhyachal, it's the hydrocele filarial problem because of filariasis of the local region. So you have to give more attention to the local problems. Now, if you are holding camp in Jammu, I think the medical professionals will really have to provide focal attention to the problem of drug addiction, substance abuse, and so on and so forth. I think this is what is required now to really add another facet to the laudable work which we are doing. So the local, what is the local need where the camps are being held, because the tertiary care is being provided. At the same time, outside community, if there are primary care needs, there are secondary care
He
needs.
liked playing with
That
the
should
thing and
also
hanging
be
in the chair.
implemented.
What you doing?
Sorry, go ahead, Satish.
So I think in Jammu, now is the problem of substance abuse. To take care of that. Similarly, in India, we are facing triple burden of disease, like rising incidence of non-communicable diseases, resurgence of communicable diseases, and then of course all these road traffic and trauma cases. So while we continue to work as an expert in the surgical sphere or in the medical sphere, I think we need to see what is happening outside in the community, because India is it's very diverse. So we can't close our eyes to what is happening around us. And I think I see no reason when such good work is being done in Vindhyachal. I think at least 10 villages around that, their health status should automatically improve, because of the message must permeate. And the best way to help people is to empower them with the knowledge, with the linking them with the facilities available, so that they can help themselves. They can come to the camp, they can even go to the government facilities. The basic idea is to really improve the situation all around. Those who are coming to the camp, we are taking care of them. But there are so many whom we can't take care, and then it's our job to provide services to them. Maybe it's not possible through the camp, maybe through the government facility, maybe through somebody else. But that should also become, another dimension where this particular camp should work.
That's a great point, Satish. Thanks a lot. I'll probably connect with you directly through Dr. Charak.
Sure.
Just last week, I was talking to a group of people, and I was told that the government has started creating these one-shop window, pretty much on the lines of the ration shops that we used to have earlier, the public distribution system shops. And they are looking at providing all services, whether it is Aadhaar card, whether it is, death and, birth certificate, marriage certificate, this, that, through that one single shop. And this group that I was talking to is working with the UP government itself to start providing some very basic healthcare diagnostic facilities within that shop. So, I think if we can somehow get involved in that effort, that can open, new funding opportunities for us, as well as, more data collection opportunities for us.
I think you're right. But I very strongly feel that whatever we do should be sustainable. No.
Yes.
So I mean, instead of starting in an episodic manner, we must be able to identify what are the existing systems in place, where they are deficient, and how can those gaps be filled. For example, whatever you're saying, very close to the camp, wherever, in Jammu or maybe in Vindhyachal, we have, this health and wellness center, which has, facilities to provide, diagnostic services, but they're very much underutilized, right? Very much underutilized. People don't go there for the variety of reasons. So if we can really find out why they're not going there, something can be done to help those people, right? And that health and wellness center should also be made, functional. And if they want their capacity to be built, if they want, some kind of, other support, we can provide as professionals. So the point which I'm trying to make is that we must find out what are the existing services available, which are not being put to use, but people are not utilizing that, why they're not utilizing that, and how to make those services functional. I mean, what you say is absolutely correct. I mean, now so many, governance experiments are taking place, integrated approach to address people's need, not only in the area of health, but also in other development areas. So those efforts are going on. But at the same time, I think there are existing facilities in the government setup which are not being fully utilized. And the easiest way is to really make them functional, around the camp at least.
Great point. Yeah.
And we will be able to save the cost also. We will be able to generate funds, we will be able to save cost.
Great, thanks a lot. It was a very beautiful discussion, which went in the direction of how to prevent this part and how to spread this. So I would like to I also see Raspal in the background. Raspal, do you like to add? I know you have been attending some of the surgical camp and you've been in the journalist area. Do you like to add something to the camp part? What was your experience and how did you get inspired towards it and been spreading words about this? And I also know one of your son has got benefited when he was very small, and his life really got changed. So anything to add from you?
Meenakshi, thank you for giving me time for this conversation. I must say we were talking about the number of surgeries we are doing in these camps, but I'll tell you, whenever some minister of health were visiting our camps, they were appreciating the work and they were saying, please, they were asking their doctors to come and see how, these doctors or this camp operates. Because during a week time, doing 150 surgeries is not an easy job. It is very difficult. And I must say that, the results are 100%. Like, patient who comes with a hope, he returns with a smile on their faces. That is very important in the camp. That's why people wait for a year to get treated in that particular camp. Why I went to the camp with my son, because I knew that if my son will be treated over there, we will return with a smile on our face. That is very important. The trust is very important in surgeries. And whenever I'm visiting camps, whether in Jammu or in Vindhyachal, I can see the grief on the pain on their faces when they're coming to the camp, and smiles on their faces when they are returning from the camp. That is very important. And I wanted to be in the camp every time Dr. Charak is going, but unfortunately, I'm not able to join the team. But I must say that, this type of, system which is created by Dr. Charak, its replication can be happen anywhere in the world, and it will be beneficial for the people because the model is very simple and its objectives are very, very fruitful for the public in general, particularly those who cannot afford the surgeries. I'll tell you an example. Like wherever we are holding our camps, in the people in the peripheries, if you search, if you take 10 patients in the sample, you will find out of these 10 people, 2 or 3 people have never been to doctor for their treatments because they never realized this is a problem in them. Whenever they visit the camp, they came to know that this is a problem with us. I saw people suffering with hernia with the tool they have made themselves to reduce the pain in their body. I've seen patients, those who are come with some kind of hydrocele, and they think that, oh, this is a normal thing. This happened because of some kind of problem in my body. They never knew that it is a kind of treatable, you can say, illness. So this is something which is very strange for the people, but I must say these camps are very important. And if we can make these camps sustainable wherever, we are, planning to have this hospital, it will be very unique model for the world, as well as it will be a place where people can go with the problem and return, with a smile on their face. That is very important. I'm very happy with Dr. Charak, and I feel proud of being, associated with this team. I'll tell you, being a journalist, I came across many people, those who are doing charity work or they're doing medical camps, but the kind of dedication I've seen in the Dr. Charak's team, and the kind of enthusiasm I see in the team when they're going, and the satisfaction when they return from the camp, it is really I cannot express in my words. I must say we must help in whatever manner we can to make this sustainable kind of system for this particular place, and let people get benefited from such kind of models, because this is very unique in type. The doctors, those who are coming, they are not taking anything. They are coming volunteer. And these surgeries, which are costing 1,100,000 rupees in capital cities, they are getting benefited without spending a penny from their pocket. So this is very unique model. I must say that, we must help in whatever manner we can. And I'm always, very grateful to Dr. Charak that, he is always meeting people with a smile on their, his face, and he never feel pained, even after returning, from a week-long camp. With his illness, he's sitting with us, and, he's talking like, he's not having any problem. So I must say, like, we must help in whatever manner we can. I'm ready to help. Whatever, I can do, I will do. And whatever Dr. Charak or you will do, I will be part of that particular, effort, irrespective of the place, conditions. That is my, assurance or my pledge to all of you.
Lovely. Thanks a lot, Rasfal, for sharing that. Definitely it makes a lot of difference when we hear from the people who have seen things happening and seeing from last 23 years, how they are making a difference in the people's life. And we know the surgeries in the people's life, or the medical need of the people, it's a lifelong journey when the people really save a lot to be able to get operated. And and each person's, we are talking about 146, but each person is contributing how much in their household, and how important is the person, that is seen when, and there is something you're suffering through for years to come, and then it's getting solved. With that, I would like to really ask, we are just 5 minutes away from closing the session. If there is any burning question, we will take it. Otherwise, we will get more towards, letting the team go. So I see a comment from the Marian Cook coming from, thank you, Dr. Charak and all, for this very important, skillful work. Let me just open the comment, and I'd just like to read it loud over here. So thank you, Dr. Charak and all, for the very important, skillful and compassionate work you all are doing and are manufactured sustainable building under consideration for the rapid construction. Who owns the land purchased for the hospital in the perpetuality? This is a question coming more for, I think, Mr. Mehtaji. Mehtaji, the question is more into who is owning the land purchase for the hospital, as well as are the manufactured sustainable building under the consideration for rapid construction. So, Mehtaji, did you get the question? I do not. Mehtaji, you have to unmute yourself if you are speaking.
Part of the question I think I can answer, that this land that we have, it belongs to the trust, the Sri Omkar Singh Memorial Trust, and the trust is planning to build a hospital. So, you know, we are part of it. For example, Mr. Mehta is the chairman and the trustee. I am also one of the trustees. So the land that we have acquired, it belongs to the trust, and we have some technical problems also in building the hospital. But then before that, we have the financial constraints.
Got it. So, Mehtaji, will you be able to speak right now to add something to this?
And this manufactured sustainable buildings under consideration for rapid construction, they might be slightly more, this system might be more costly than building the routine thing, but we are open to actually everything once we have the funds.
Yeah, Mehtaji, do you like to add something?
No, Dr. Charak has already said that. And yeah.
Perfect.
Dr. Charak, is there a reason why this particular city was chosen or town was chosen for the medical camps, and other camps held in different locations in India, or just this one?
No, we have been doing camps in several parts of northern India. You see, the main focus has been that we should work for a week, so we should have a week-long camp. So, and then many of our people are, you know, government workers, so they have 6 working days, you know, Monday to Saturday. So we try to start on a Saturday evening when they are free from work. Then Sunday they have a, you know, holiday, and then they have to take 6 days leave rather than, you know, if you have Sunday in between, then they have to take 7 days leave. So just to, you know, have you know, this sort of convenience where people working in the government institutions can also join us, we do the camps from Sunday to Saturday. Why do we do it in North India only? Because you see, we want to start on a Saturday and reach our destination by Sunday morning, so that we can start work on Sunday. So we do not you know, hold camps very far away where reaching would be a problem. So, you know, for example, if we have to go to Srinagar, Kashmir, then you know, we may not be able to reach there on a Sunday morning if we start on Saturday evening. So you know, we have chosen areas where we can conveniently reach by Sunday morning if we start on Saturday afternoon or evening. So that has been the situation. Jammu, Punjab, Uttarakhand, UP, Haryana, these are, you know, states close by. So this is convenient for us. We are open to going further, but you see, some of the longer distance places, they will need air travel and so on, and we don't want to, you know, waste our money on air travel. We try to remain economical as far as the expenses on the funds are, you know, on the camps are concerned. So till now we have done that. The farthest place that is that we are doing is the Jammu region of the Jammu and Kashmir state, and we have known some people there, so therefore it was convenient to have a piece of land, acquire a piece of land there in one of the villages, and we thought that we, you know, will construct something here. I had some personal land also there, so I thought I would contribute my own little bit, and you know, in this. And that is what we are thinking about. That is why we are thinking about having it in that particular area.
Thank you, Dr. Charak, for sharing that. Very nice. So we see a lot of people who is getting inspired. So I see a comment from the Don saying, Dr. Charak, Meenakshi, Radhe, and everyone involved are profoundly inspiring and moving seva being done. Thank you for sharing this course of this powerful work. So thanks a lot for sharing. And we are on the top of our hour right now. I just like to take some final comment from Radhe. Radhe, just like to hear a final comment, and with that we will close the session.
Sure, thank you. Thank you. And this has been absolutely wonderful, Meenakshi, this whole session. And I've learned several new things throughout this, some of the new initiatives that are being done, and just the update in general on the camps. I would just say, but while we were in this session, I actually received a couple emails from those that have had to leave since, asking about wanting to send checks as a donation and needing to know the address. So that's probably something that I did not include in my original talk, but all of this information in terms of who to make the check out to and the address and our 501c3 tax ID number and tax status is on Medical Relief's website. And so you can go there, or you can also just email Meenakshi or myself. But good news is that it looks like as we were all speaking and coming together, that we are raising some money here. So really wonderful to hear.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks a lot, Radha. Yeah, Dr. Charak, you were saying
thank
something?
You. No, nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you. So really good to hear that. Saurav, if you're around, we would like to close with the closing mantra.
Sure. Yeah, I'm here.
So thanks a lot, everyone, for joining today.
Thank you, Meenakshi ji.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. It means a lot to all of us, the support that we are getting. And I mean, just showing up itself is, as Radha said, on a Sunday afternoon. Thanks a lot for being here with us. Let's do the quick mantra and we'll close the session for today.
It is midnight in India now.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh my God.
Already 12, yeah, beyond 12, past 12.
So good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, let's close it quickly. I would like to go to sleep if possible. Yeah, thank you. Please bring your hands closer to your chest. Close your eyes. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayaha. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Saurav. Thanks a lot for everyone for being here with us, and looking forward to people in the camp, and also spread the words and do send us your suggestions. We are here to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Charak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satish ji.
Thank you, Mehta Saab. Thank you. Have a good day.